Hello, welcome to Edmonds School District Tech Talk. Tonight, we will have interpretation services in 5 languages other than English. When we turn on this feature, please click on the interpretation globe that will appear at the bottom of your screen in a few minutes. And you will want to select English if you speak English. We will go ahead and introduce our interpretation team, and then we will start this feature. If we can have Summer, please.
أهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا اليوم في الحديث عن التكنولوجيا. النهارده 14 سبتمبر والنهارده نتكلم عن المدرسة الثانوية الاجتماع الخاص بمنطقة إدمندز التعليمية. عايزين نعرفكم اليوم إن في ترجمة ل5 لغات، منهم طبعا اللغة العربية، وأنا هكون معاكم اليوم واسمي سمر. وتقدر لما تظهر علامة الأيقونة، علامة الكرة الأرضية في أسفل الشاشة على الكمبيوتر عندك، تقدر تضغط عليها وتختار اللغة العربية. لو بتتكلم لغة إنجليزية تقدر تختار الإنجليزية. فعندنا اليوم ترجمة اللغة العربية والكورية الأمهرية والأسبانية والفيتنامية بجانب اللغة الإنجليزية. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll change the order a little bit. Sorry, Chris, can we go to slide number 3 and then we'll have Ben, our Spanish interpreter, please.
Servicios de interpretación. Hay servicios de interpretación disponibles en español. Pulse en el icono Interpretation. Es el pequeño globo ubicado al pie de la pantalla y selecciona español. Todos los asistentes deben seleccionar un canal de audio.
And then if we go to Tizita, please, and we can go to slide number 4.
እንደምን አመሻችሁ። ለዛሬ በኤድመንድ ስኩል ዲስትሪክት በምንጠቀማቸው የቴክኖሎጂ መሳሪያዎችን አስመልክቶ የምናደርገው ስብሰባ ነው የሚሆነው። ለዚህ ስብሰባ የትርጉም አገልግሎት ይሰጣል። የትርጉም አገልግሎቱን ለማግኘት ይሄ ቀስት የሚታያችሁ ቀስት የዓለሙን ምልክት ተጭናችሁ የትርጉም አገልግሎት ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ። እንግሊዘኛም ቢሆን የምትናገሩት ይሄንን መምረጥ አለባችሁ ለእንግሊዘኛ። ለዚህ ይሄን ተጠቅማችሁ የትርጉም አገልግሎት ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ። ትዝታ እባላለሁ፣ የዛሬ አስተርጓሚያችሁ እኔ ነኝ።
Thank you. And if we go to slide number 5 and we'll have Min for Vietnamese.
Hello, xin chào quý vị đã tới buổi trò chuyện về công nghệ kỹ thuật ngày hôm nay. Tôi là Minh Bùi, tôi là thông dịch viên cho học khu Edmonds. Bữa nay có thông dịch cho tiếng Việt, cho nên nếu mà quý vị cần thông dịch và chọn một kênh âm thanh thì xin bấm vào cái hình trái địa cầu ở dưới màn hình của mình và sẽ lựa chọn cái tiếng Vietnamese, tiếng Việt cho thông dịch. Xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Thank you. And lastly, if we can have Jin, our Korean interpreter.
한국어로 통역 서비스를 이용할 수 있으며 화면 하단에 있는 인터프리테이션 아이콘을 클릭하고 한국어를 선택합니다. 모든 참석자는 오디오 채널을 선택해야 합니다.
Thank you so much. If we can go to the next slide, and for our land acknowledgement, we will introduce our interim superintendent, Dr. Miner, and in a second, we will start the interpretation feature. Thank you.
Elizabeth, would you like me to wait until the interpretation is ready, or would you like me to go ahead?
I believe Chris will hit start in a second. It's grayed out. I think we're having some technical difficulties with our interpretation feature. Chris, are you able to close it out and maybe reassign some of the interpreters again?
I will try that. Thank you.
Estamos
I-
teniendo, we got it?
I'm not seeing the Amharic interpreter. I think that was the issue, is it was set and it's no longer set.
I haven't got anything as well.
All right, I think it was simply a name
Okay,
change. I
we're
believe we're
good.
good now. Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Dr. Minor. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the welcome, Elizabeth. As Elizabeth indicated, I am the interim superintendent for Edmonds, and it's my pleasure to offer a land acknowledgement this evening. We acknowledge the original inhabitants of this place, the Snohomish people, and their successors, the Tulalip tribes, who since time immemorial have taken care of, hunted, fished, and gathered on these lands. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and we honor their sacred spiritual connection with the land and water. By acknowledging these homelands, we commit to working with tribal nations to further the educational aims they have identified in our classrooms and our schools. I just want to say welcome to all of you and thank you for being here. I can see we have a large number of participants, and I'm just so incredibly grateful to all of you for being here. I'd also like to offer my thanks to our interpreters who are here tonight, providing a service to our families so that you can hopefully engage very deeply in what is going to be presented tonight. You know, when it comes to your students' learning, technology plays a huge role. And we're just grateful to the opportunity to work with you to share some things tonight. Engagement with our families is really key. And one of the ways we do that is through technology. So thank you for being here. I'm really excited for you to learn more about important tech tools in our district. And so with that, I won't keep you any further, but I would like to introduce you to our technology director, Chris Bailey, who's going to be your host tonight.
Thank you very much, Dr. Minor. So as Dr. Minor shared, my name is Chris Bailey. I'm the Director of Technology for the school district. I'd also like to introduce our other panelists.
Yes, we're shy. Hi, I'm Sean Schaefer. I serve the Edmonds School District community as its information service manager, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight with you to share a little bit about what we can offer your students in our technology realm.
Thank you, Sean and Chris. My name is Jason Alod. I'm the K-12 Interim Director of Student Learning.
Great, thank you both. So thank you all for being here. This is the first of what we hope will become a series of tech talks that we'll offer throughout the school year that will address topics that are important to our families. Our goal with these webinars is to make it easy for families to engage in their students' learning and to be a part of their school community. Technology is a tool that can help us to achieve that goal. So this evening, we're going to take a look at a few different things that you can do as a family to engage in your students' learning. We'll start with a brief look at the district website. We'll also discuss ParentSquare, which is another new tool that we launched recently that connects our families and students with their teachers and their school. Skyward is the district's main source of student record and includes things like family contact information, student health, as well as grades. And lastly, tonight we'll be focusing on our secondary students and we'll be looking at Canvas. Canvas is the learning management system that's used for all students in grades 3 through 12 within the district. The new district website was launched in late August. You can access it at, actually, let me go to the next screen because I can show you the URL. Here it is. So you can access our website, which was launched in August, at the URL address that's on the screen. There are a few things I want to highlight about that, but let me confirm that our interpretation is working properly. Give me just a moment to do that, please. All right, thank you. So I'm going to share the district website so that you can follow along with me, because there are a few things I'd like to highlight. All right, so I'm sharing this in a mobile view, and that's because many of our families access the website in a mobile web browser. And one of the neat things about our new website is that it's designed for that. We no longer need to have a special app that needs to be installed because our website is very friendly from any device type. I'd like to start by highlighting a feedback form that's available to our community from the district homepage, as well as from each of our schools' websites. You can find it by clicking the search button and then selecting this questions icon right in the middle of the screen. This will launch a form that you can use to submit questions or feedback about anything that's happening in the district. And in particular, I'd like you to use it to provide us with any suggestions for other topics that you'd like us to address in future Tech Talks. Our hope with these Tech Talks is that it responds to the needs of our community, and we need your help in order to be able to do that. If you have any comments or questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to use the Q&A feature to ask any questions that you have. And it's our hope to have some time at the end of our presentation to be able to address those questions as well. Hopefully, you've already noticed some of the improvements on our new website. One of them is search. It works phenomenally, and I would encourage you to give it a try. Another area I'd like to highlight is our schools menu. From the home page, if you click on schools, you'll see a list of every school and instructional program that's offered within the school district. Another item I'd like to highlight specifically for our high school families is a resource that the district adopted in the spring of last year called Paper. Paper is a tutoring service that's available to all of our high school students anytime, day or night, and it's free of charge. And it's a phenomenal resource for students that might be struggling with a specific concept or that might want to have a paper they've written be reviewed before they turn it in. From the Linwood High School site, it can be found under Student Life and is called Paper Tutor. So I would encourage you to check that out if you think it's something that might help your student. Another thing I'd like to highlight on the district website is accessibility. You may have noticed a little icon in the lower right-hand corner. This is called Audio Eye. And Audio Eye is a feature set of accessibility tools designed to meet the varying needs of the community. If this is of interest of you, I would strongly encourage you to check it out. The other tool I'd like to highlight is translation, which is built into the website in 15 different languages. You can find it at the top of the screen by clicking the globe and then scrolling down to find the language that you'd like to use. We are constantly making updates to the website in response to your feedback. So please keep sending in those forms with any input that you have. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to share about the website today. But if you have any questions, I would encourage you to use the Q&A to send those comments in. And with that, I'm going to pass the microphone, if you will, to Jason to talk about ParentSquare.
Thank you very much, Chris. So today I'm going to be talking about ParentSquare, which is the school district's new communication tool that will send phone calls, text messages, and emails. If you download the app, you can additionally receive push notifications. The district, schools, and many classrooms are using this tool, and we plan to continue to expand its use throughout the school year. I'm going to share my screen now to show some features. So each parent and guardian can join ParentSquare using the email address or phone number that you provided the school district in Skyward. All parents will have access to records we pull in or to this app from the records in Skyward. You don't need to claim account to receive emails, text messages, or phone calls. ParentSquare features automatic translation based on the language preference you've set on your device. You can participate in two-way communication with your student's teacher, send and receive messages in real time, and talk directly with school administrators and teachers. You can set to receive an email digest where you'll get one email at 6:00 p.m. that may include district news, school news, and classroom news. To get the ParentSquare app, you can download it by typing the URL bit.ly/ESDPS. All those letters are capital, APP, lowercase letters. And then log in with your email or phone registered with the school. Once you have the app, you can select your notification preferences. To do that, you'll tap the menu icon that is noted with 3 lines in the top left, tap Account, and then tap Preferences. From there, tap Notification Settings, and then you can select how you'd like to receive the notifications. I'd like to show one more feature of ParentSquare, and I'm going to share this from a mobile view. Maybe. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So once you have the ParentSquare app, it looks like this. And to send messages to your teacher, you can tap the message icon at the bottom of the screen, and then tap the pencil icon in the top right. From here, you tap the plus sign in the circle near the top right, and you'll see the list of your students' teachers. You can tap the name of the teacher you want to contact, then tap Done, and then you can send a message. This message will be automatically translated, so you can type it in your language. That's all for ParentSquare. From here, I'll pass it over to Sean to talk about Skyward.
Thank you, Jason. One moment while I share my screen. All right, do you see the Skyward screen?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So Skyward, excellent. Well, good evening. My name is Sean Schaefer, and I have the privilege of taking you on a tour of Skyward. So if you're new to the district, you may be asking, what is Skyward? Well, Skyward is the district's information system for student information as well as finance HR information. But as a parent or a guardian, your focus is more on the student side. So what does Skyward capture? As Chris mentioned earlier in the presentation, it's where we store our student records. It also provides the means for parents, guardians to enroll their students, as well as for office staff and teachers to track attendance, for parents to report attendance to their schools. It provides the means for providing balance information on food service, as well as applying for free and reduced lunch. And it is the means for our teachers to track their grades, enter their grades, and display that to families. And it's a host of other records, including discipline, health, and busing information. In addition to being a portal for our teachers and staff, it also provides a couple of portals for our community. One that's called Family Access that guardians, families can use to keep up on what's going on with their students, as well as a portal called Student Access that students can use to see the same information that their parents or guardians can see and keep up on, what's happening with their grades and their attendance tracking and so forth, and provide a source for information or dialogue with their teachers. Skyward also is our source of information for other systems. We connect Skyward with Canvas, Google, ParentSquare, and other third-party systems to roster classes and other information to make it easier for students to access those different applications, as well as to make it easier for teachers and staff to interact with them. I might be asking, how do I access Skyward? Well, there's a couple of different interfaces, portals, if you will, for Skyward. There is the full version of Skyward that you'd access from a desktop or laptop. There's also a mobile app that's available to you. And the mobile app you could find just by going to your app store, using either the Apple, the iPhone version, or the Android version, and searching that app store for Skyward and finding and downloading the app called Skyward Mobile Access. And you'll see a screenshot of that on this slide. Make sure you find that particular app with that logo. There'll be other Skyward apps in your app store, and those are not the right ones. We also have information available on our website by going to our Skyward Family Access page, which I'll show you here in a moment. And we also have instructions on how to access the grades in Skyward, as well as report attendance. And that is done through our grades and attendance pages. So let me go ahead and move out to our website. And you should be seeing the website now on the screen. And you'll find the Skyward Family Access page just by hovering or pausing your mouse over the Families menu option and choosing Skyward Family Access. And the Skyward Family Access page is a great place to start. So it allows you to look at information in your language, and it provides a introduction into Skyward Family Access. As you scroll down the page, you'll find additional information about how to change a password, subscribe to email notifications, some essential information on how to set up Skyward Family Access. But I'm going to scroll back up the page, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Family Access Login Page. And that's going to open up the full version of Skyward. And the reason I'm bringing you here is if you're new to Skyward, you'll want to set up your password before you can access Skyward, either from the mobile interface or from the desktop version. And to do that is to come here and click on the Forgot Your Login Password link. And that'll open up the Forgot Login Password Assistance screen. And here you will type in your email address or username and click Submit. And that will trigger an email to your email inbox. And it will give you a link so that you can go ahead and set your password. Now you might be asking, which email address will it use? When you enrolled your student into Edmonds School District, it'll use the email address that you put on file with your student. And if you're curious what that email is or what your username is, if that was not provided to you when you enrolled, you can contact your student school and they will provide that information to you. All right, once you are set up for Skyward, then you can access it. And what I'm going to show you now is the mobile interface of Skyward. Its dimensions, as you see on your screen, are not a typical dimensions for a mobile device. However, it is the same feature set and navigation that you will find if you access Skyward from the mobile app. So first thing I am greeted with is a screen that shows me my students' current class schedule and grades. So we can see that my student has grades now in pre-calc, and I can go ahead and click on that grade or press, if you're using your mobile app, just touch on that particular grade and it will provide me more details. So it'll show me the homework and tests that have been taken and information about how my student performed on those activities. If I scroll down a little bit further, I can see there's a message center, and if I click on the unread messages, I can see information from my school or from the school district about different information, such as my students' balance in their food service account, additional welcome back information, important details that I would want to look through and make sure I understand and respond to accordingly. So now I'm going to show you some additional features that you can access from the mobile app. So one thing, if you have more than one student attending Edmonds School District, you'll be able to select the other student here and then look at information pertaining to that student as you navigate through the app. So something to be aware of if you have more than one student at Edmonds. And next, I want to show you the attendance feature. So within attendance, here I can see a history of the absences that my student has accumulated over the course of the year. And that gives me information that maybe I need to address with the school, or I say, yes, that's great. I can also report an absence to my school using the app just by pressing on the Add Absence Request link. And that'll give me the ability to enter in an absence request. So say if my student was absent tomorrow, maybe I know that they're going to be at an appointment, I will go ahead and select that. If it was just for a partial day, I would just untoggle this little button over here, and it'll give me a chance to put in an opportunity to put in a time frame that the student is out. And then from here, I can go ahead and select a reason for my student's absence. Maybe they have a medical appointment. Maybe it's an all-day medical appointment. So we'll select that. And I will enter a comment. The nice thing about this, if my other student was also partaking in this absence, maybe it was for a family vacation, I could copy all of this over to my other student by just selecting this toggle. So that's a nice feature, convenient feature to be able to apply the same absence request to all of my students in this Edmonds School District. So once I am complete with that, I can click submit, and that will send the request to my school's office, my student's school office, and the office staff will review that request, and when they process it, you will get notification that it's been acknowledged. You'll get one acknowledgement initially when you submit it, and you'll get another one once the office staff actually see it and process it. So that's important to know that, because if you're doing a last minute notification of a student's absence, maybe they're being dismissed, you need them to be dismissed early for an appointment, you'll want to also contact your school's office via a call or another means to make sure that they are aware that your student is being dismissed early. So it's good if it's a short notice situation to inform your school in multiple ways and ensure that they're aware of it. It's for your students' safety. In addition to attendance, I can see busing information from the mobile app. I can see the stops to and from school of where my student will be picked up and when. So that is great information to find right here on our Skyward mobile app. I can see a calendar. Now our ParentSquare site will have all our great events that are happening at our school. In addition, it will also, the Skyward app in addition will show you the assignments from a calendar perspective when they're due, and you can click on one of these assignments and see more details about it. You can also see discipline information in the mobile app. You can see food service balances in the app. And if for some reason, if the report card didn't make it home, because sometimes that happens, if the report card for your student did not make it to into your hands, then you can come to the report card section and you can actually print the report card. In addition to the report card, we may have other important documents out here like SBA test scores and things like that. So this is a great place to find those documents that the school or the school district are providing to you. Finally, if you go to the student information tab, you select that, then you can review your student's information, as well as the family information, the guardian information that have been assigned to your student and emergency contacts. If you need to update this information, you can, there's some pieces you can do through the full version of Family Access, and other pieces you'll want to contact your school and they will update it for you. All right, now I'm going to switch over to the desktop view and show you just a couple of features that are available from this portal compared to the mobile version. So everything I showed you in the mobile version is available here in the full desktop view. In addition, you can come in here and choose the Student Family Information Update tab, select your student, and from here you can go ahead and update your student information just by following these steps. And we would encourage you to do that. Do it on an annual basis to make sure that it's up to date. Just walk through, step through these steps. and make sure that the ethnicity and race and all that is set up correctly. Make sure that the family address is accurate. Make sure the emergency contact information is correct. Read through our attendance policy, identify the military family status for your family. As well as you can add a food service application through this interface by just coming to the food service step and clicking add food service application. You can also do it from our food service tab here as well. So great easy access to that form, as well as other information, including our affordability connectivity program survey. So you can come out here and click on this option and it'll take you to that survey. And we would appreciate you going through this on an annual basis and updating your information. We also have online forms, different forms that we'd like you to fill out. We can provide those through Family Access. So we'd ask you to come out here and look for those forms and complete them. All right. I am looking at a message on my screen. 1 second. All right. All right, so this is the conclusion of our tour of the Skyward Family Access interface. And with that, I believe I am turning it back over to Jason to take us through Canvas.
Thank you, Sean. Are you able to stop sharing your screen?
Yes, 1 moment. Sorry, Jason.
That's okay.
Apparently, I just want to hog the screen. Where did it go? All yours.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so Canvas is the learning management system for the Edmonds School District from grades 3 through 12. So all digital assignments will be shared with students through this platform, Canvas. As a parent, you're able to join Canvas as an observer to track your students' assignments and find information about the courses that they're in. There's a couple steps to go through to become a Canvas observer, and I'm going to demonstrate these on a mobile device. If you want to follow along, please feel free. You can use your mobile device or a computer with these same steps by going to edmonds15.instructure.com. The first step I'm going to show, stop share and switch to my mobile device. Is how to create the observer account in the first place. If you are already a Canvas observer, you will not need to follow these steps. So we've set up Canvas differently this year so that all families in Skyward have an account. To find your account, when you get to this screen, you'll tap Forgot Password. Now again, I want to be really clear. If you already have a Canvas account and you can already access it, you do not need to follow these steps. This is for people new to Canvas. You'll enter your username, which is your full email address that is entered into Skyward. and then tap Request Password. When you do that, an email will be sent to that account, and you can follow the prompts to create your observer account. When you do that, you'll automatically be paired with your student, and you'll be able to keep track of classroom information, course information, upcoming assignments, and projects, as well as other information. What I'd really like to show you now is how you can change the display language in Canvas. What's crucial about this is that you have to do this on a browser, on either a mobile browser like Safari or Chrome, or on a computer. Once you get the app, once you get the Canvas Parent app, you cannot change the display language on the app. So this step has to be done before you download the app. So you'll enter the email address that is listed in Skyward and the password that you created after tapping the Forgot Password link. And then you'll tap Login. From here, to change the display language, you'll tap the menu icon in the top left corner marked with the 3 bars. You'll tap Account, and then you'll tap Settings. Again, this is to change the display language. When you see the screen, you'll scroll all the way to the bottom and tap Edit Settings. Tap away from that field to close that menu, and then look to where it says Language. By default, it will say System Default English United States. Tap that, and then select the language that you prefer. Once you finish with that step, you'll need to scroll down and tap Update Settings. From there, then you'll be able to download the Canvas app, the Canvas Parent app. But don't download the Canvas Parent app before changing the display language if you need to change to a language other than English. It's really important. So I did want to give you a tour of the Canvas Parent app as well, but because I wanted to show you how to change the display language, I can't have the app to demo that. So I recorded a short video to show what you can see in the Canvas Parent app once you download that. Hello, not that one. Hello, and here we go. Hello, in this video, we'll explore the Canvas Parent app. When you first log in, you'll see a list of classes your students enrolled in. If you tap one, you'll see the grades that students have gotten when they've turned in assignments. Here's a long list of assignments with some of the scores. If I tap one of the assignments, I'll be shown a few more details, but it's important to note that you cannot see the assignment on the Parent app. Now we go back and we see the list of courses. In this list of courses, we can tap on another one. Here we tap on PE. We can see a total grade here because this teacher hasn't hidden the total grade. Again, I can tap an assignment, but I cannot see the assignment. Now we'll look at the menu. We have an inbox. Most teachers don't use the Canvas inbox for communication. When we go back, we can also manage students. If we have more than one student, we can view the other students' courses. Here is the calendar. We can look at the events occurring on the day and the assignments that are due. And here are the alerts. We notice that there's nothing that we're notified about now. Back in the course, we can also see the front web page of the Canvas class that will have information that might be useful. Finally, we can click on the modules link and see the modules where the teacher may have assignments organized. Thank you so much for watching this. So thank you for bearing with that video. One correction I want to make about that, as I recorded it in April, is that if your student receives accommodations for their learning, the teacher will be posting those accommodations either in the Canvas inbox, where I mentioned in that video, most teachers don't use it. So that this year they'll be posting those accommodations either in the Canvas inbox or on the comments on the assignments as you go through and look at the assignments and tap on them to expand them. Otherwise, the video is still accurate, but if your student does receive those accommodations, that will be communicated to you through Canvas, either with the comments or through the Canvas inbox. So that's the basics of being a Canvas observer and what you can see. And from here, I think we're going to open it up for some questions and responding to questions that were written in the Q&A.
Thank you, Jason and Sean, for sharing that with us. We are going to now go to questions that have been sent in via the Q&A feature. So I would encourage you to share any questions that you have for us there. I would also like to remind you of the feedback form that I shared on the district website. If there are other topics that you'd like to hear about, or if you'd like us to go into more detail about any of what you've heard this evening, please share that feedback either using the feedback form on the website or by dropping us a note here in the Q&A. We would love to ensure that future Tech Talks are meeting your needs and helping you to engage with your student's school. So moving to the questions, I see several that are related to Skyward login, as well as troubleshooting. Sean, would you mind reviewing that information for us?
Yes. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so when you enroll your student in the Edmonds School District, you should receive an email once the enrollment packet is processed with information on how to log into Skyward. If you don't have that email, if you didn't receive it, then please contact your student's school and they can certainly provide you with that information. Once you have that information, there should be a link to use. But if you do not have that link, again, you can come out to our Edmonds page, Edmonds website. And click on Families, Skyward Family Access. And that'll bring you to our Skyward Family Access page. And choose the language of your choice. And then what you'll find here is this Family Access login page. It looks like a heading to a section, but it's also a link that will take you to our school district's login page for Skyward. You'll see our logo down here. So a way to verify that you're at the right school district. And then from here, you can reset your password by clicking the Forgot Your Login and Password. And what it requires is your email address that you have on file in Skyward or your username. Your username will be the first 5 characters of your last name, followed by the first 3 characters of your first name, and then a 3-digit number, which is if you're the first one with the unique combination of those first 8 characters, you'll have a 000. If there were other folks that were added into the Edmonds School District with that same unique characters, then it'll increment up. So you should get that username again in an email. And if not, you can ask your school for that. You'll also receive it if you know your email address that you had on file. Once you do the reset, it'll come in that email as far as what your username is. So for example, I've been logging in as Victor Sparrow. And what I would do then is for Victor's email or username, I would put in the first 5 characters of their last name, followed by the first 3 characters of the first name. And for Victor, Victor is the first Victor Sparrow in Edmonds, so he gets 000. If Victor's name was Mike Smith, it might be 001 or 002. Again, you'll get that information from your school from your school office or via an email if you do the forgot password process. So when you'll type that in, you'll type in the password that you set. Of course, you have to type it right. I'll use my own here. Because I remember when I set up Victor, I set him up a bit unique for my own demonstration. So that's the reason why it's not working, because I was breaking the rule, so to speak. Well, trust me, that is the way to log in. I'm not going to waste your time watching me fumble with my keypad. The difference, there's a question in the chat about the difference between the login for Skyward versus Canvas. The difference is that the Canvas site, and Jason can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding Canvas site uses the full email address, whereas the login ID is different for Skyward, as again, it's the first 5 characters of the last name followed by the first 3 characters of the first name, and then the unique ID there.
Yeah, that's correct, Sean.
Okay, the passwords can be different because you have the opportunity to set those passwords to be different. You can make them the same, that is a choice. And then there are some questions in the chat. My student moved from AMS to LHS and now my Skyward won't work. How do I rejoin Skyward? It should have been transparent, but if you find that you've been disconnected, you cannot log in, then I would contact your schools, the school's office, and have them check your account. That's the answer to a lot of the questions about how do I troubleshoot, how do I get assistance with Skyward, is to contact your student's school's office and have them check how you're set up in Skyward. They'll be able to make sure that you're active and you have access to family access, and just troubleshoot from that standpoint. If the school needs assistance, they will contact the technology department and we will collaborate with them to ensure that you can get into Skyward. We certainly want you to be able to get into Skyward, and sometimes logging in is the challenging part. Once you're in there, then it's just a matter of exploring and understanding what information that you can see and what things you can do. So again, don't let that be a barrier to being able to log in. Please contact your school, and the school and the district will ensure that you can get access.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Yep.
One other question that I see is, I found my way to the district website, and now I'd like to access Canvas as an observer. So how can I do that? I'm just going to very quickly share my screen to show you that today, the easiest way for a parent or a family member to access Canvas in order to log in as an observer is to hover over the students menu and select Canvas. And this will take you to the same place that your student will log in to access their courses. I'm excited to share that we will very soon be launching a new website for all things technology within the new district homepage. And that will have resources on Canvas, Skyward, ParentSquare, Seesaw, which we'll be talking about tomorrow, and other tools as well. So I really encourage you to check back on our website later this year for some really cool upgrades. I see several questions related to Canvas logins. And as I think Jason alluded to, parents can now log into Canvas with the same email address that they're logging in to Skyward, or that they've got set up as their primary email within Skyward. So it's as simple as going to that Canvas URL and walking through the forgot your password screen. That's going to get you right in there as an observer for each of your students. Within Canvas, both the Guardian 1 and the Guardian 2 within Skyward are set up to be observers. So each of them can log in with their email address in order to access their student as a Canvas observer. As Sean said, any further questions related to Skyward troubleshooting can be directed to your school. However, I'll say one more time as we are wrapping up this evening, if that's something that would benefit the community, if having a Skyward hands-on troubleshooting session or a show and tell where we can help families to get connected as observers, if those things would be of value to you, we would love to hear that feedback, because that's exactly the type of support we want to be able to provide. Please encourage you to take a few minutes to share any other thoughts on what we can do in a future Tech Talk that would be helpful to you. If going deeper into any of these tools would be valuable, then we'd love to be able to do that. And if there are other ideas that we haven't touched on yet, I know we've got some ideas of our own, but we'd love to hear your ideas as well. Please share those also. You can find the feedback form on the website under the search icon. And it's a big question mark that says questions right underneath it. So please check that out and share any additional ideas or questions or feedback that you have with us there. I think that concludes our presentation for this evening. I want to thank our interpreters for helping us to be accessible to as many of our families as we can. And thank you all for attending. I would encourage you to share what you'd like to learn more about so that we can make sure that we're responding to your needs. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening. And for those of you with elementary school students, I would love to see you again tomorrow evening. The first session that will be on intermediate will be very similar to what you heard today. And the primary session will include information on Seesaw in lieu of information on Canvas, as Seesaw is the LMS, the learning management system that our primary school age students are using. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.